Then I can choose to ask those sitting closer to me first for answers, and I might not get to you guys in the back because it's your choice to sit in the back. That means that when many students put up their hand, and I might not get to you because you're in the back of the class. Right? If you don't mind, just go ahead and sit in the back of the class. Go ahead, sit in the front, everyone. There are seats empty in the front there. Where are these guys? What's going on in these two seats? Anybody sit one is empty, that one is empty. What is that thing doing there? Putting away so that someone wanting to be in front can come up. You know, suppose that I see the hands over here first, because you're so far in the back, I might not see your hand. Shh. And so don't blame me if I don't call you up. And then shh. Your friend may already have given the answer that you wanted to give. So you can't give that answer anymore because someone else took it already. See? That's the cons, disadvantage of sitting in the back. I hope you realize that. Okay? So if you come to class late, seats in the front are already taken. Okay, listen and watch this video. Quick. Write down, it's time for class now, not to chat with your friends anymore. Oh, one moment, I have to tell you that something happened to our video that was taken on the what? Last time, when was that? The 13th? Last time, we had a class on the 13th, right? Yes, I think that some of the video clips shown during that class, during the presentation, was under copyrights law. So some of them has copyright. It's covered by copyright. So when some of you showed it, the video was bad. So I could not upload the video. I got only the message that says this video clip contains something from SME and it violates copyright. It imposes copyright violation. So the video was blocked by YouTube. Okay, so some of you or one of you must have used a video clip. What do you mean can you have? You want me to confiscate it for a night? You're not listening to me talking to each other and have to shout over your voice, and your friends will say I was talking too loud. And the reason I was talking loudly was because some of you is chatting each other. If you stay quiet, then I don't have to shout. Listen to what I'm saying. It's important. This class is very important. This is where you learn these skills of communication. As I told the other class of the industrial math students, if you don't have this skill when you go out to take a job, okay, they expect you to be able to say something, to offer your opinion, critically say what you think, suggest an option, suggest what they should do, suggest or give your opinion as to whether you should do that or you shouldn't do that. Suggest a new program, suggest a new product, and persuade them to believe you, to support your program. Now, I have been the one trying to find scholarships for you guys, and I asked those people offering scholarships what type of students or graduates they want to see. Are you listening? Like, what's going on here? And they told me the Thais, when they are in the meeting, they sit very quietly, don't offer any opinion. Even after the meeting, they ask for their opinion. The Thais don't have anything to say. Very quiet, didn't have any innovative ideas to offer them what is the new thing that should be carried out Or what is your idea about this project that has been suggested by somebody else? Is it good? Is it bad? Could we improve it? How do we improve it? The Thais don't have anything to say. That's what I said. That's why they keep having to hire people from Singapore, from Hong Kong, from Taiwan. Because these guys always have things to say. They talk a lot, give opinions every time you're in a meeting. But the Thais don't. That's what they keep telling me. They want us to produce students that can communicate well and have ideas outside the box. Think outside the box. Talk critically, logically, have things to say, have good ideas to present. And that's why it's important. This course is very important. And the course next semester that you're going to take with me is actually the most important course that actually of the entire program. Because you can know a lot of things. You get a good degree, good GPA, know many things, but you cannot communicate. They don't think that you have very good potential. Low potential, quiet all the time, no new ideas, no brilliant ideas to offer. Low potential, they don't promote you, your salary remains low, they don't promote you to be the someone taking care of the division. You just look normal, subordinates. You don't become superior in the units. You see? So this course is very important. Don't think that it is not, and you don't have to pay attention. Understand? Okay. Right. Let's listen to this and think along. Okay? I will show it to you again. Some of you would say, some of you would say, oh, but I just don't have the ability. I'm not good. My English is poor. Okay? The other guys have very good English. My English is poor. I'm very slow when I want to speak in English or think in English. So I'm at a disadvantage. But I believe you know that everyone can do it. Believe in yourself. Don't underestimate yourself by saying, oh, I can't do it. You have to think, I can do it. If you think you can do it, believe in yourself, you can do it. I believe in you. Everyone, as long as you think that you can do it, you try hard, you work hard, you will accomplish anything. Because you're in this program, it's because you have shown some promise. Beware. Shown some promise. That's why you accept it. But you just have to work harder, believe in yourself, and then you can do it, you can get better. If you don't do it, you just sit still or just do something on your tablet or play a game on your smartphone. Don't join in at all in the course and what is being done in front of the class. You're never gonna get better. So why are you here? The market, the job market is now very competitive, you know. If you graduate with just this degree, it's not going to help you to get good jobs, or if you get a good job in a few years, you have to find a new one. Or come back to me and say, Ajahn, can you write me a recommendation letter because I've got to go to get a master's degree. I have to write recommendation letters to many of the students. They graduated, got a job, few years, they realized no progress, no promotion. So what should I do? I should go and get a higher degree. Maybe that would give me a better chance of being promoted with a better degree. But in fact, with a bachelor degree, you don't need a master's or higher degree at all. A lot of our students, just with the bachelor degree, he got to be a fellow already. Some of our students is working in a Singaporean company, was hired even before he graduated. He didn't need a master's degree, but it just because he believed in himself and he planned his life. This is what I'm going to do. During the first year, I'm going to pass 1 exam or 2 exams. By the second year, I'm going to pass 3 exams. By the 4th year, third year, 4th year, I go to 13 maybe, but if you don't go to 13, you can pass, you can sit for exams. But if you go to 13, some of the exams are waived. If you stay here, some of the exams are waived too. We just have accreditation so that the courses that you take here, you can use it to waive taking the exams. You don't have to take the exam. The exams will be considered passed. See? But you plan and you believe that you can do it, then you can, before it's too late. Okay? Alright, let me show you this one. First, what's the name of this band, boy band? Yes? No, the name of the band. Microphone, please. You're not listening to my question. See, you're sitting too far back. This one, this one, this one. Yes? Super Junior. Is that the very cute band? Everybody knows about it. Anyhow, what is the message of the song? Yes? Let's start talking. Oh, hello. They are singing about. So can you expand on that, on the message, the whole thing? What is they trying to say?
Like you use public transport.
Using public transportation. What else they are saying in the video clip that you're supposed to do to save Earth?
Turn off the computer when you don't use it.
Turn off the computer. You don't play. Don't play on the
play game.
Don't play anything actually. Don't use it too much for too long.
Yeah.
Because it's using a lot of energy, right?
I think so.
Right there. When you say anything else that they suggest that you do? In the clip.
They play the outside and exercise alone.
Okay, that's a good thing to notice that they're suggesting that instead of playing games on a computer, you should go out in the open to play, to exercise, instead of staying inside, always playing on the computer. Okay, good one. Anyone else? Yes?
Using public transportation.
Oh, she
Yeah.
said that already.
Oh.
Using public transportation. Okay, you can suggest your own. What do you think you can do?
Reduce using the plastic bag.
Hey,
Think
to
your own.
save Earth, right? To save Earth. Oh, but the song is about save energy. So
No, energy to produce the plastic bag.
no, it is the energy to get rid of it. Yes, because you have to, what do you call it? Deal with the trash to at least to convert it, to recycle it into some other containers, right? Use plastic bag to make something else, but that uses energy as well in the factory. Yes.
Walk instead of using car.
Walking instead of using cars.
We should turn off the light when we leave the room.
Switch off the light. Turn off the light. Why are you sitting back there? You may be having to walk there, you see? You should be sitting in front. Yes?
If you go to somewhere with each other with their car or
Yeah, so you use the, what do you call it? Carpool. Thank you, 1 point for her too. Because she thought of the term that I could not recall. Use carpool. Okay, so that suppose you want to go to the same place, then everybody use the same car instead of each one driving their own car and wasting a lot of energy. Yes.
Use the windmill to produce the energy.
Produce the energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like saving the fuel to produce energy. Okay, my God, I should leave that to other. Only these 3 and this one, and that's it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it.
don't turn on the television overnight.
Don't leave the television on overnight. Okay. Yes.
Turn off all the electricity.
When
it's not necessary to
when you read, you use the candle. Read under the candlelight, you say. You turn off the electricity when you don't really need to use it. Yes. Do you do that? When you leave a room, you automatically switch off the light. Oh, good. Okay. Ride a bicycle instead. Wow, I have this. To demonstrate. Is this a good idea? Just use this one. Scooter. I will fall down, right? Because I can't balance very well. Anyone can do this? I can't do it. I'm gonna fall down and break my legs. Because I'm an old lady. My bones has many holes like osteoporosis when you're old. Osteoporosis means like โรคกระดูกพรุนนะอยู่ท้าย osteoporosis. So when you're old, you can't fall because if you fall, immediately you break your legs or arms or bones are broken very easily. Alright, so that's a good idea, not? Instead of driving a car, then you sort of drive a bicycle. Or somebody suggested a bicycle. What about that? You have, okay.
using a fan instead of air conditioner.
Using a fan, that saves energy. Okay, yes. You have an objection to the use of bicycles?
I think like in Thailand we can use bicycle for.
You
because
can?
We
Can't?
can't because like if you look for the like footpath in Thailand is very bad. Maybe it
Sometimes,
make accident for.
yeah, because it's there are obstructions like trees or suddenly it's gone, no footpath anymore and no bicycle tracks anymore. You can drive and there is a track for a while, right? And suddenly, you have to go down. There are different levels instead of continuous track. So you think it's still not a good idea to drive. I got a chance already today. Anyone at the back? Oh yeah, sitting in the back, it's like this, you see? I have to walk here.
You know that alternative energy solar and solar cell.
Like solar cell.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Use alternative energy. Anyone? No? Yes. The last person. Amina, this one.
I had did some research that if we eat waste food, waste food, yeah, the method that we made waste food,
Frozen food.
yes, we use a lot of energy.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after we finish it, we have to
Defrost, like heat it up.
heat it up. That is a lot of energy too.
So what do you suggest we do?
Yeah, I think maybe frozen food is not good. It's not good for our health and our world.
Right, but then how do you keep your food? Yeah, that's a question, isn't it? How do you ask question?
I didn't mean, I mean like in the 7-Eleven.
Oh, in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's frozen food. Yeah.
But you can't keep the food for very long if you don't freeze them. You don't freeze it. So what will happen is that there will be a lot of food waste from food that you have to throw away every day, and that creates trash and pollution.
It's all in one meal.
No, but think about, if we, the Thai, we produce a lot of fruit and food for the world, like chicken and seafood, okay, seafood, and shrimp and fish, and we ship them to sell to other countries that can't catch them, like Japan. Japan buys a lot of fish from us, because they like fish, or to the UK. So how do we do that? Because it takes a long time for our products to reach those countries, so we have to freeze them. What do you suggest we do instead of freezing?
Yeah, actually, I didn't suggest to eat it. I suggest that we have to eat less.
Or eat less. Yes, so let's consume less. And eat just enough. Okay. Alright. Let me show this one first then. To see, so that you can see. This girl.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school, on the other side of the ocean. Yet, you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood, with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you? For more than 30 years, the science has been crystal clear. How dare you continue to look away and come here saying that you are doing enough when the politics and solutions solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. You say you hear us and that you understand the urgency. But no matter how sad and angry I am, I do not want to believe that. Because if you really understood the situation and still kept on failing to act, then you would be evil, and that I refuse to believe. The popular idea of cutting our emissions in half in 10 years only gives us a 50% chance of staying below 1.5 degrees and the risk of setting up irreversible chain reactions beyond human control. 50% may be acceptable to you, but those numbers do not include tipping points, most feedback loops, additional warming hidden by toxic air pollution, or the aspects of equity and climate justice. They also rely on my generation sucking hundreds of billions of tons of your CO2 out of the air with technologies that barely exist. So a 50% risk is simply not acceptable to us, we who have to live with the consequences.
Okay, probably you've heard enough.
How dare you pretend that this can be solved with just business as usual and some technical solutions? With today's emissions levels, that remaining CO2 budget will be entirely gone within less than 8.5 years.
Okay, there are these girls.
Solutions or plans
I forgot to switch it
these
off.
figures here today.
Where is it?
Because these numbers are too uncomfortable, and you are.
Okay, so this girl is probably younger than you guys, but she can communicate very well, right? You might say, oh, because she was born, in an English-speaking family, with English as her mother tongue and things like that. But no, I don't think so, because if you listen to her accent, then you would realize she's not born, speaking English, but she learned English on the way. But if you just look at it, listen to her ideas, how can she know so much? And how can she express her concerns and her anger at what the situation right now? So she is very mature in the way she talks and make people listen. So you can do it. You can say, look at her, why can she do it? I can do it too. I have the same number of arms and legs and eyes and nose. See? And you exercise your brain, you can do it, okay? So her concern is really real and very serious. And so I want to invite the group today to come up and give their presentation on this topic. We are trying to see what we can do with the video we took on the 13th, which cannot be opened yet. It's black when I try to open it. It's blocked under the license of copyrights agreement. And so I can't send it out for you to see yet. We're trying to find a way of getting around that. So, thank you. Maybe you should, in your next presentations and next groups, please be careful not to use video clip that has copyrights on them. Okay? How do you know? You try to download it first. What you are from YouTube to show us, instead of trying to download it first. If you cannot download, then you realize it's blocked somehow, you cannot download it. But if it's possible for you to download it, usually it's saved. You can use Skip with that. There are many ways you can download a video from YouTube or whatever.
Hello everyone, my name is Scma 6205574.
My name is รัชพร สว่างเนตร 6205577
My name is Forward Sang Thong Pit 6205578.
My name is Scma. My state number is 6205745. We are group 3 and today our presentation is going to be global warming and climate change. But first of all, let's watch our role play first.
Bro, I am the earth. Look, my enemy is there.
Wow, I'm GG. I'm gonna destroy anyone in the earth.
I'm also, this is also a layer, I protect it.
I'm gonna destroy him now.
Hello, who are you?
I am greenhouse gas.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? Look, the man is cutting down the tree. The carbon inside the tree is being released. Look, that machine is tilling the land. The carbon inside the land is being released too. Look, the factory is emitting the pollution and greenhouse gas emission. They are so responsible. But however, they release me, greenhouse gas, and I'm here to destroy you also. Yeah.
Wow. So now the ozone layer is getting have a bigger hole, so I can get inside and destroy anyone in the earth now.
And the heat and the earth is living happily together forever. Today, I'm going to start with an overused term that we heard a lot recently. You might have heard it from science textbook, social education class, Facebook, Twitter, and news or even political campaign in America. I'm sure no one here does know the word global warming, but do you think you know what it actually means? Is there anyone sure that you know the real meaning of this word? Please raise your hand.
Global warming is like a phenomenon that makes the globe warmer and warmer and warmer.
It's ambiguous, but exactly. The term global warming is literally mean the earth is getting warmer, but is there anyone ask something more so that they can conclude? Anyone else?
Nobody?
Global warming is one of the climate change phenomenon.
Yes, you're right. So,
Say it again, some of your friends didn't hear.
It's one of the climate change phenomenon.
It's part of it.
you're right. So, no one else? Okay, let me conclude it for you. Global warming is one of climate change phenomena that result from an increase in high-traveling greenhouse gases. These gases block the heat from escaping back into space, like you see in the role play, and hence is increase in an average global temperature.
Okay, so everyone will be wondering now, what happened when our Earth is getting warmer? I have some video to show you.
It's free for half a year, opening the legendary. If the world warms by 1 degree, the Arctic is ice-free for half a year, opening the legendary Northwest Passage for ships. Tens of thousands of homes around the Bay of Bengal are flooding.
We run the risk of
Hurricanes begin hitting the South Atlantic. Severe droughts in the western U.S. cause shortages in global grain and meat markets. This could be our world plus 1 degree. If the world warms by 2 degrees, some changes to the biosphere are no longer gradual. Greenland's glaciers are disappearing. So much ice has melted, polar bears struggle to survive. Insects migrate in strange new directions. As a temperate climate moves north in the U.S., pine beetles kill off the white-bark forests. The grizzly bear's key source of food in the fall. New forests take root in Canada's melting tundra. The Pacific islands of Tuvalu are lost beneath the rising tides of global warming. This could be our world plus 2 degrees. If the world warms by 3 degrees, the Arctic is ice-free all summer. The Amazon rainforest is drying out. Snow caps on the Alps all but disappear. El Niño's extreme weather patterns become the status quo. The Mediterranean and parts of Europe wither in searing summer heat. This could be our world plus 3 degrees. If the world warms by 4 degrees, oceans rise, overtaking heavily populated deltas, home to 1 billion people.
including Bangkok.
Bangladesh washed away.
most of Thailand will disappear.
Egypt inundated. Venice submerged. Glaciers disappear, shutting off the flow of fresh water to billions more. Northern Canada becomes one of the planet's most bountiful agricultural zones, while a beach in Scandinavia could be the next Saint-Tropez. The entire West Antarctic ice sheet could collapse, sending sea levels rising even further. This could be our world plus 4 degrees. If the world warms 5 degrees, 2 massive uninhabitable zones spread into once temperate regions of the northern and southern hemispheres. Snowpack and aquifers that feed the world's great cities, Los Angeles, Cairo, Lima, Bombay, are drying out. Climate refugees number in the hundreds of millions. This could be our world plus 5 degrees. If the world warms by 6 degrees, from a distance the oceans may appear bright blue, but they are marine wastelands. Deserts march across continents like conquering armies. Natural disasters become common events. Some of the world's great cities are flooded and abandoned. This could be our world plus 6 degrees.
Now that we see the effects of global warming, we will see things much more than a temperature with climate change. Since the term climate means a regular weather of a place, so different places can have different climates. And global climate change is mean a change in usual weather of a place all over the world. This could be a change in temperature or rain, snowfall, and also weather phenomena. As you know the meaning of this word already, so I'm sure you can point out the difference between them. Is there anyone want to?
So global warming deals only with the rise of temperature, but the climate change deals with the extreme weather conditions, the animal well-being, everything related to weather.
Yeah, exactly. You already said.
So actually that means some parts of the world may not be warming up. Some parts might be like, or the weather changes during winter. Instead of being cold, it becomes warm, or during the summer, instead of being warm, it becomes cold. So this is climate change. So it's not solely to do with warming up.
Let me ask something else. Apart from the temperature, a shift in temperature, climate change also include and lead to another extreme weather events like rainfall and hurricane, tornado, flood, droughts, and a change in precipitation pattern and a shift in wildlife population and habitats. So now that we know the difference between them, let's move back to the smaller one, global warming, and explore the factor that cause global warming. The first factor is fossil fuel burning. During the fossil fuel combustion that we use to produce electricity and power, it also produces methane. Also produce a great deal of pollution and greenhouse gas emission, as we already said before, is the main cause of global warming. And the second one is deforestation, and I want you guys to think stick of carbon. When you cut it down, not only you ruin the system that exchange carbon dioxide into oxygen, you also release the carbon in the rope, release the carbon that's stored inside the yeast tree, and it's not a little amount.
And then you might want to relate this to the building of dams.
Yeah.
What do you feel? Why I'm saying that they are related, you know, of building of dams.
Dams.
To produce electricity, you use.
Yeah. We use the land and need to cut down.
Yes. When you build a dam, you need a lot of space, which will be filled up with water, and that means that you destroy the forest as well as a lot of trees and places for the animals to stay. So actually that contributes to global warming, climate change. In order to use the water to create alternative energy using water. So we think that we are doing good. Instead of using fossil fuel, we use water as fuel to create electricity. However, there's a downside to that because you have to build the dam. And building the dam also destroys the environment, right? Yes?
The source of producing water energy cannot, the dam is not the only source of the energy that produced from water. You can actually use the tide from the sea, and the turbine that creates the energy from the water can be actually small. So the fact that you use the dam as the only one container for water source of energy is wrong.
It's not very clever. A clever way of doing it. No, very good. Yeah. I give you 2 points. Giving us an alternative point of view that we may not realize, that we're actually doing the wrong thing, not a very clever thing to try to find alternative source of energy, but we're destroying the environment on the way. All right, please continue. Yes? One? No? Okay.
The other one is agriculture and farming. As I said before, there is some of carbon stored inside the land. So when we till the land in order to prepare to plant something or crops, we also release the carbon that stored inside the soil as well. Like the last one. And farming also a main cause of global warming. Why? Because these livestock like cows, sheep, and horses produce methane. As we know, one of the greenhouse gases, and actually these innocent animals produce about 15% of overall greenhouse gas emission.
Yeah, so better not eat meat. Producing a lot of carbon monoxide.
Yeah, in their production and also when they burn and
they burn and when they fart. It's true. It's true. No, but before you can kill them, you have to leave it until it grows.
Yeah.
You have to kill them when they're born. Yeah. Because as soon as they're born, they start to create all these.
No. Think about when we suffer from global warming, they suffer it too. Fair enough.
Yes. Okay. He's arguing. So why don't you give him the microphone?
But then if you're eating plants or vegetable, you also cut down the oxygen produced by them.
You know, think about that. Okay, please continue.
Okay, you will notice from the cause that most of the cause of global warming always find a way to link with the greenhouse gases. So we will get to know the greenhouse effect better for the next.
I will talk about the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is the energy from the sun reach the earth through the radiation. As the earth is warm heard in terms of infrared radiation, then it back into space. And do you guys know why greenhouse gas is very important? Imagine if our world don't have greenhouse gas, our world will be frozen like Mars. This is because greenhouse gas will make our earth warm. There are many effects of global warming.
Whereas greenhouse gas leak in atmosphere. Whereas greenhouse gas leak in atmosphere. Where?
In the troposphere.
What was the question again? Sorry, I didn't know you were asking. Can you repeat the question, please?
Where is the greenhouse gas leak in atmosphere? Which atmosphere?
Which layer?
Which layer?
Ah, okay. So can you point to the layer? Oh, it's not shown? Ah, okay.
This one in the troposphere.
So it gets trapped there. Yes.
In the first layer, this one.
Okay.
And there are many effects of global warming. The first one is effect on human. Raising the sea level are causing the population migration. As you can see for this bar chart, it can be noticed that today population living below protected high tide line. And the second one is effect on the ocean. The acidification in the ocean are the most concerned. In fact, increasing the acid condition will harm for the various types of coral and plankton. And the third one is effect on biodiversity. Habitat disruption are often due to the change of temperature and water, which affect the native vegetation and the animal that feed on. For the first picture, you can see that the polar lost her habitat because the north of Atlantic is melting, so the polar don't have the place to live in.
But what's wrong with that? Polar bear. So why do we have to care?
Yes, we should.
Polar bears, but
we should be care because polar bear is in danger and
endangered. Yes,
yeah.
but why should we care?
No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Nobody can persuade.
Maybe if all polar bear dies, the Eskimo can make a fur coat. since they die and drown in the water.
So why should I care? Yes. Yes. Give him a point. Yes.
Because it will affect the all ecosystem of the Atlantic. Because if the predators all die, there will be overpopulated prey, right? เข้าใจปะคือมัน
Convince me, I'm not convinced.
selfish กันไหน
Why should we care? I mean, you know, when I ask this in the exam, you get to answer, okay. But when I ask this exam, what are the pros and the cons of global warming, right? Many students will say polar bears would all die away. And then it's not really something that we really should really worry about. It's just you have to say what is a consequence of, why should we worry about about bears die, really, yes?
The ecosystem in the North Pole or South Pole will
Did you mean what? Would be wrong, you mean?
It's not like
It's not normal. Yeah. But it's changed. But that's okay because then the pole, the north and the south pole will be warmer. There will be more places to plant. Farm agriculture. So you can produce more food using, the grounds in the north and south pole. That should be good, right? More places to plant. Microphone, please. I'm trying to protect myself from germs. No. I'm an old lady. My immunology is not very strong. Yes. Overwhelm the ground. So in fact, this is a sign that warns us that ice is melting, and that increases the amount of water in the ocean, and that water will flood all the cities. That means ice. So that's why we need to worry. So suppose I ask this question in exam, please give me the real reason, the real consequence, not to say, the polar bears will all die. So what? Because if you if you go and talk to the children and try to, convince them of the seriousness of climate change and global warming, and you keep telling them the global bear will die, you will not convince the villagers to stop doing things to contribute to global warming. They will say, why should we worry? You see, just like when I said, yes, what I say something.
We need the polar bear because
we do.
They are essential to our ecosystem.
Yes.
In order to complete the ecosystem, we need it.
Every point. No, but if we don't have the polar bear, I think it will affect the ecosystem a lot, right? Oh, okay. One point. Okay. Thank you. I don't need to go ahead.
the global warming also affect on the weather. Which is more dry heat wave and more natural disaster. For example, flood or storm. And for this example is the Typhoon Mangkhut, which was happened in Hong Kong on last year, and this typhoon destroyed a lot of the part in Hong Kong. So their damage
is as a result of climate change. That did not used to have so many, and they have become more severe. That's the problem. Yes.
So what can we do to solve this problem? Can you give the example to me?
Reduce, release, carbon dioxide.
How? We all know that's what we have to do, but how? How to do it? we said, stop eating meat. But then some people say no. We said if we stop eating meat, we eat like vegetables.
Walk or use bicycle instead of
use what? You what?
Walk or use bike instead of run.
No, somebody has suggested that one. Can you give me a better and a different option?
Maybe like we can create the law for solve the problem. Like
Law?
the law.
Laws.
Law.
There are a lot of laws. I'm going to talk about the agreement on reducing greenhouse gases. Yes. Someone will talk about that. Yes. We have had. You should answer. Who will talk about that? Who is talking? So you should answer him and say yes. We do have agreements already. When was that? When was that time?
It's the sign about the Kyoto Protocol.
Yeah. And who did not sign?
USA.
Somebody said that. Yeah, you want to contribute? That person over there, walking around. Hey, how about? You got the microphone. Say it. Don't waste our time. Yes. Okay, give the microphone to someone else. But come on, quickly.
It is trash from the sea.
The what from the sea?
Trash.
Reduce trash from the sea.
Plastic.
Reduce trash. Trash is not from the sea. No, it's not from the sea.
We can follow 3R.
The what?
3R, which is reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Oh, use a 3R. Good. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, good. Anybody else? Oh, this form. Oh, what? Let the different
Stop
person.
choosing burning method to get rid of the trash. Because when you burn the trash, it makes carbon dioxide to the atmosphere.
Yes, so what do you do instead of burning the trash?
Stop burning.
Stop burning. But then there will be more and more trash around. So how you get rid of it?
Yes.
The 3Rs. Oh, but she got the 3Rs already. No. She's already got the 3Rs.
Avoid using product with a lot of packaging.
Reduce using the products. Plastic packaging. Okay. So we use less packaging. Yes.
Use other straw instead than plastic straw.
Use other types of straws. But you use straws made out of paper. Then you destroy the trees. Aren't you destroying the trees when you use paper to make the plastic straws?
We should stop cutting trees and
Yes, and how do you build these buildings if you don't cut down the trees?
use other materials.
What kind of material? Okay, recycle. Okay.
Use solar cell.
The what?
Solar cell.
Use solar cells for energy to create electricity. Okay, that's it, man. So, using too much time, we have to give the time to the next group. Yes? The what?
Support to use clean energy.
Wait, that's too vague. You have to say what do we actually do. Alright, let's go on. They have to finish up. You're using too much time.
The first one that I recommend for you transportation, and recycling. You can separate the tar into 4 categories, which is paper, glass, metal, and plastic.
There are 2 more people that have not presented their work.
And the second one
so
is
you have to keep calm.
renewable
The thing
energy.
is, when you start asking a question, you must realize that people will start to answer you, and then you can control the time. And that's why I told you to keep the questions to the end. It's not wrong. Okay, it's actually it's good if you have plenty of time to keep asking the questions as you go along. There's really nothing wrong. It can be good. However, with the limitation of time that you have, when you do that, it's not a good idea because you start people trying to answer your questions, and it's using up your time that you don't have. And the other 2 members haven't talked yet. See, so maybe you can cut it off and finish up and let the other 2 talk. Go ahead.
And the third one is sustainable infrastructure. In order to reduce carbon dioxide emission for the building, it is necessary to use in the low power building. And the last one is sustainable transportation, and this one is the best way for you guys. This is because if you use public transport, for example, bus or BTS, it can reduce the pollution that you go by your own car.
Now, we are talking about the Tokyo Protocol. That's quite important, and someone said something about that, so please tell us about it.
And this one is the Tokyo Protocol. For the target for this one is to reduce the emission of the greenhouse gas
by how much? What is the strategy?
5.2%.
By what year?
By 2012.
By this year. This is 2012. So has it been successful? Has it been successful in doing this?
Yes, successful.
It has? Who has a different opinion about this? I believe it's not very successful. You know why? Yes?
Because there's a lot of project about saving energy that most of our company doesn't want it to happen, or else we will lose the massive income into the company. So that's why they pay billions of dollars to stop the project.
Stop the project. And also, what else? There are countries who refuse to sign this. Especially what? What country refused to sign this?
USA.
The USA.
Yeah.
So that means they keep on producing greenhouse gases.
No, the USA don't want to sign because the Donald Trump, he doesn't trust for this protocol.
What? He doesn't what? Trust. Why not?
He didn't believe that global warming is actually happening. He thinks
Who
that
is this he?
Donald Trump, even
No, but this protocol was signed many years ago. You know, Donald Trump is not the
I mean the Paris Agreement.
Oh, you're talking about Paris Agreement. Okay, we're talking about this protocol. decrease their emission as it promised either. So if the thing is they're using a lot, right? The industry is very large, the largest one. So 5.2% of a large amount is a very large amount compared to a country like Thailand, say. 5.2% reduction in what we're using now would be very small. But as a country like the US that is producing emission of greenhouse gases, a lot of them, 5.2% of a lot is then very huge amount to have to reduce. So that's why they think that they are at a disadvantage. It's not fair. You see, they think that it's not fair. This accord, this agreement is not fair for them. That's what they feel. Okay, please go on.
So as we know, the main cause of climate change is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide let the sunlight in. The more greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped and increase the Earth's temperature. So there are two main causes of climate change. First is anthropogenic. So anthropogenic is the climate change caused by human activities. So the example would be chemical fertilizers, deforestation, increased vehicles, industries, and emission of carbon dioxide. Another main cause of climate change is by nature, such as ocean currents, forest fire, and volcanic eruptions. So first I will be talking about the climate change caused by human activity, which is anthropogenic. So first example is chemical fertilizers. So we know that fertilizers are used daily to help plants and trees grow. We can see that many farmers use chemical fertilizers because they are cheap and easy to use. But the use of chemical fertilizer is a significant source of greenhouse gas emission due to nitrogen pollution. Another example is deforestation. So forests store a large amount of carbon dioxide, and plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere as they grow. When forests are cleared or cut down, stored carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. This results to more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, making the Earth's temperature increase. Another example is increased vehicles. The number of people using a car has increased for decades. We can see that every car releases carbon dioxide, which is one of the largest source of greenhouse gas emission. Another example is industries. So many factories emit several pollutants such as methane, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide, which increase the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And in today, we can see that climate is the temperature of the Earth is increasing and getting warmer because of factories increase. So next is emissions of carbon dioxide. Human activities like burning fossil fuels have increased the amount of carbon dioxide emission, which is the source of greenhouse gas emission. And to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, we should stop cutting down trees. Instead, we should plant more trees, and we should use more public transportation and construct less factories.
For this problem, the emission of carbon dioxide, I have heard that they are trying to make it as an energy, the new way of renewable energy. So
they're trying to think up a technology, right?
Yes, but it's still in experiment. If it can, do you think that it is the one way to?
He's asking a question.
Is the one way to help this problem?
Yes, this can be a way to help.
I think it's possible, right?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Okay, 3 points. Okay, go ahead. You don't have much time, so I don't want to ask questions.
The another main cause of climate change is by nature. So the example is ocean currents. Ocean currents help balance temperature extreme between latitudes, and the wave of ocean currents can flow both vertically and horizontally, which affect the weather conditions.
I think now there are some strange changes in the way the ocean currents go. Sometimes in the past it goes this way, and then now they observe that the currents move in a unnatural way or a different way, and they blame it on pollution, climate change, the things that humans do. The currents do not flow in the usual way anymore. Right, okay, go ahead.
And another example is forest fire. So forest fire emits carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that will continue to warm the planet in the future. They also damage forests that would increase the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's the reason why the earth is getting warmer. And last example.
Why is it burning? Why is the forest burning right now? And they can't put off right now. Anyone? He can the answer, but you didn't put up your hand. Sorry. Yes. Yes.
Indonesia.
In the what?
Indonesia.
Indonesia and okay, here. Give him a chance. Yes.
Amazon, Brazil.
Amazon, no? The Thai can pronounce it Amazon. Okay? But actually it's Amazon. So it's the Amazon. ต้องมีติดนะ you need ติด because if you say Amazon นี่ก็คือ the online shopping site. That's Amazon. Okay. Go ahead.
So last example is volcanic eruptions. So as we know, volcanic eruption cause widespread destruction and loss of human life. It also impacts the climate change, which reduces the amount of solar radiation reaching the Earth's surface.
So right now, let's talk about the effect of climate change. So everyone knows have a good thing and bad thing about climate change. Let me ask you, like, what do you think about is that a good thing, one a bad thing, or bad thing, one a good thing? Who thinks having bad thing more? Please raise your hand.
More bad than good or more good than bad?
Yeah, quite a harmful. This
So,
class.
you guys think that they are more bad than good? Who thinks that they are more good than bad? Please raise your hand,
Please
please.
raise your hand.
Anyone? Why not? You guys okay? Right, why don't you tell us what are the good things that can come out of climate change?
Alright, so in this slide I will tell the bad thing first. Okay, because everyone believes the climate change have a bad thing, but a good thing, so I will tell about it first. As you already know, it's have a wildfire in Amazon forest in this picture. So the effect first one is about the health. It's about the air quality. Not about the fire, but it's about the smoke. When it has smoke, it can hurt your body by many ways, such as it can damage your eyes, it can have lung disease, or it can make you tired.
That's not a bad effect of climate change or global warming. That's a bad effect from fire, forest fire.
Yeah, and it's caused by climate change and global warming too.
No, the forest fires causes climate change, but then you have to say, then what is the bad thing that come out of climate change? Not from forest fire. Forest fire causes climate change, global warming, right? See? You understand what I'm getting at? Yes. So
this is not about climate change.
This is not a bad when you for forest fire, not from climate change. Yes, please go on.
So the second one is about water security. So climate change make the soil become drought.
Drought.
When it have drought, it doesn't have so much water in the soil, and that's lead to have many countries in Africa it doesn't have enough water to drink. The third one is about agriculture. So everyone will have a question like, in my biology class, the teacher told me that the plant needs carbon dioxide to have a product to be a ATP or glucose or anything else. Why is that have a bad thing? So I will answer that is oversimplification. Because the plant doesn't need only carbon dioxide to be the process. They need water, and the more important thing is vitamin and mineral. So where does that come from? From the soil. But the soil is drought now, so the soil that can grow the plant is kind of not proper. Yeah, to grow the plant. And when the plant doesn't have enough nutrition, so it's become like a junk food that we eat today. Yeah.
Oh.
So I prepare for this too.
Oh, you found that one too.
For this new lab that already you are already seeing the afternoon. This girl is talking about how bad the climate change is, and government doesn't do anything. But I don't know is that a fact or is that a fake. Just you guys think about what is she talking is true or false.
Oh. But she was talking in a conference.
She has like a conference.
World conference of educated people, academic people. Oh, okay, thank you. It was at the UN Climate Change Action Summit. So we can believe that it actually happens, and she was telling us the truth. I'll give him a point to anyone. Hey, ATA gets a point, yes. Okay.
So the bad thing is already happened. So I have to do something.
Good impact, yes.
First thing is about the transportation. They will have more room because the ice melting and it's and free ice in Atlantic. So when you're shipping in the ship or travel by the ship, it has more room and have an easy way to go.
easier to travel
Yeah.
in the countries
Around the north.
the north.
The second thing is about agriculture. I already told the bad thing, but the good thing is that when the climate change partially is make the world warmer, so that lead to you will have a longer growing season in the whole country. All right.
So we shouldn't have to worry about it. Is that the conclusion?
As the girls say about the climate change,
Don't you think that now eventually the scientists would find a way to overcome all these things, and so we shouldn't worry that much.
so yeah, it's your guys' decision. Is this one is a big problem for us, or is just the normal things happening in real life? You can still you want to deal with it or you not.
That's why people are still not convinced, including Trump.
Because someone is not believe the world is warmer.
Doesn't believe that we're going to suffer that much. Eventually, the scientists are going to find a way to overcome all these problems. They will find alternative energy. They will find alternative way for us to cope with the different weather and things like that. So that's why he doesn't believe in it. And that's why the problem is still not solved, because we don't have, the whole world. Some part of the world just doesn't care about this. They don't feel that it's a problem.
Because the problem is doesn't happen very big that they can see.
They can see, yeah, because it's like gradual, right? The change is so gradual. A little by little. The temperature changes little by little. So you don't feel the effect suddenly. That's why, you don't
somebody is not really
it's that problem. You don't have to worry.
But someone who want and need to be ready for this, I will tell some of the solutions too. So everyone in every house needs to have air conditioning, right? And the substance that make air conditioning working is hydrofluorocarbon, which is not very good for the ozone. So the good way is they have some substances better than this substance. For example, propane or ammonia. The second one is reduce food waste. In the canteen, had everyone have a brunch today? Right? Everyone had that? So, did you eat all the food that you have? Yeah, someone have all the food is gone, but someone is have a waste, right? Yeah, and you need to throw that food away.
Yeah, you're right.
I just come back from China, and the habits there. They serve us a lot of food, and actually they say they would feel bad if you finish up all the food. That means that they don't serve you enough food. Yeah, so they give you a lot so that there are leftovers. We couldn't eat them all. Every meal, a lot of food are thrown away. They're creating a lot of waste.
And you know what? This way can make carbon dioxide too. The bacteria can make the glycolysis process and make carbon dioxide to our ozone and atmosphere. So after you do it, eat all your food. Don't have waste and there is less carbon dioxide.
Yes, someone wants to ask a question.
Can you use the food waste into a biological fertilizer?
Oh yeah, you can fertilizer and or maybe feed the animals. Yeah, that can be the way too.
use the fertilizer?
No, use it.
Use it the waste as a fertilizer.
Yes, or you can feed the cow, pig, whatever. Yeah, that can be the one way too. Alright, so everyone knows that the global warming is part of climate change. So let me tell you another event that is not the global warming, but it's the climate change. Shh. The younger guys event. What's this? Is this the event? It has a gap between the ice, which is the world is very cold, and the present world, which is we have like a global warming right now. Shh. So this event is about the gap is kind of going up.
So you have this gap?
Yeah. For this gap, the temperature is kind of rapidly going down to be as cold. So it can be as why the memories are extinct. And when the event is over, it's kind of going up and have a human or people right here and live long to the present day.
So the scientists have predicted this.
Yes.
They have predicted
So it's happening for a long time, so no one can see that for real. It's a prediction.
According to
for
this guy,
this
Lamont
website.
Doherty. Huh? Oh, that's the Earth Observatory Institute of Columbia University.
It's the name of this event. I really don't have too much about what's that mean, and I don't research that much. But yeah, as you know that it's happening that the temperature is rapidly going down to change the event to be this world.
Yeah, you have to actually know a lot of mathematical theory to be able to explain this phenomenon. Yes. Do you know chaos theory? Chaos theory. That is what can happen. But I think it's a long story that you cannot maybe wrap it up because it's a long time. Wrap it up, please. Yes.
So it's a discussion time.
Do you think the action we take today is enough to prevent the impact of global warming? If not, what should we do?
Let's be more particular. You're asking whether the governments nowadays, in nations around the world are actually doing enough to prevent the impact of global warming.
Is it too late or?
You think it's too late? Look at the hands and give the microphone. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's not too late. Yeah, I think it is not enough because okay, I think it's not enough. Yeah, we try to not we try to release less, but we have lots of greenhouse effect in the greenhouse gas in our weather, in our condition, in our ocean. I think we have to use this to prevent not just the less release, but have to use that we have. Like, do you understand?
No.
Yeah, like you try to not use the car.
So we reduce the use of anything that will produce the greenhouse gas.
Yes, but it still have this greenhouse gas.
anyway because they are being released from, say, the ocean.
Yes.
And
So-
we can't prevent that. We can only reduce it.
We can use it. Like I have seen some.
But why should we want to use greenhouse gas? To do what?
Maybe like carbon dioxide that he said that we can make the energy from the carbon dioxide. Or I have searched and got something that seaweed. You know seaweed? Seaweed.
Yes.
Seaweed have a high level of growth rate. So if we farm seaweed, yeah, you can use a lot of
biofuel. That's called biofuel.
Yeah, you can use a lot of carbon dioxide and produce it into the oxygen, and you can make money from it too.
So you don't think it's too late?
It's not too late. About 50% of the greenhouse gas we just produced is about 30 years ago.
But don't you think it's really difficult to persuade all the industries because they want to make profit, and they want to make money. That's like what the girl was saying.
Of course.
They're just talking about money.
So we have to think about how to make money from this greenhouse gas.
Right. So they're not going to care that they're polluting the world, right? Like the Thai government, they just want the growth in economy.
Yes.
Economy growth, increase, income of the country, more industries. And when you tell them to, force some regulations on these factories so that they don't pollute the environment, the government doesn't really pay that much attention, don't you think?
Yes. I think at first we have to conscious.
Like the resorts on the seaside.
Yeah.
They are releasing their wastewater onto the ocean. The government doesn't care. I mean, it depends on the Obata. They're just accepting money under the table, and this allow the construction of all these resorts or factories without, good system of treating the wastewater before releasing it into the environment.
Of course. If you will that because this world won't trade with money, not just
Yeah, it's like they want economic growth everywhere, right? So that's the interest that is going against conservationists that's trying to preserve the environment. Right, so do we have hope? Are you still hopeful? You still hopeful that we can actually?
I think people will start thinking about global warming when it's like the very last minute.
Yeah.
Right now they're all thinking about economic warming.
It's like chicken in a pot of water, It's like in Thai bird and bird. When chicken, they are floating inside a boiling pot of water, but they don't feel that the heat is increasing until it's too late. The water boils and they're dead already. But before that, they feel that change is so small, you don't feel it, and they say, oh, everything is fine. They don't jump out of the pot until it's too late. Okay, so maybe you make a conclusion. We don't have time for any more questions because you asked quite a few questions along the way. Yes, please wrap up, please make a conclusion.
To summarize, the changing weather pattern is defined as climate change, while the rising concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is causing an increase in the average temperature of Earth's surface. This phenomenon is also known as global warming.
Okay, thank you. Let's take a break of 15 minutes exactly. No longer than that, we want to start the second group presentation precisely at 3 o'clock.
อ่ะกล้องมันถ่ายหน้ามึงเตะกล้องล่วงนี่สัตว์เรื่องกล้องเอาเลยป่ะเอาเลยป่ะเป็นวิชาที่มีสอนที่เพิ่มความสามารถได้ A.B.C เนี่ยมันช่วยคือถ้าเป็นโซน A.B.C แล้วมันก็ไม่เหลือตายไม่รอดแน่ในเวลาโตเฮ้ยข้ามกันในเวลาเสียแล้วเราจะเถียงกันไม่สนุกเลยเรื่องอะไรคือจะแก้ไม่รู้เรื่องเยอะกูไม่รู้เรื่องโอ้เรื่องเกณฑ์แอร์เลยครับเมื่อตอนนี้มันไหนโอ้ไม่น่าดูตรงนี้ได้ตัวตรงๆมันไม่ง่ายขี้เกียจไม่อยากถามตรงๆแค่คุยด้วยก็ไม่อยากแล้วมึงถามเลยอยู่ไหนมันชื่อกูมันชื่อจริงเลยนะไม่รู้อ่ะถ้านับครบเลยเด็กเข้ามา
บ่งคนกันมาเป็น
เรามาสวัสดีพ่อแม่พี่น้องกันหน่อยประเด็นนี้ชื่ออะไรครับนี่ชื่ออะไรครับคนมาใส่กล้อง สร้อยคอที่เป็นของกีฬาเดี๋ยวจะแจกตอนแพ้ค่ะ
Hello everyone. Today we are going to present fuel cell and ready car.
My name is Shanyapha Ubungomus 6205537.
My name is Palapat Suksawai 6205565.
My name is Pasurat.
My name is Hatarawan Susambun 6205571. So now we will have a short role play.
Chunyapha. Oh, who is Chunyapha? Oh, you're Chunyapha. Chanyapha. Okay, right. So when I look at it, I read Chunyapha, so that sounds like a man's boy's name. But it's Chanyapha. Okay, that's female. Yes. Okay.
Okay, let's watch our very short role play. Gasoline is very expensive now. I don't have any money anymore. I can't do anything without gasoline. I will die.
Why don't you buy electric car like me? I think I'm better than you, nah. I use electricity and less gasoline.
Gasoline
for fuel cell like me. Moreover, I can save the world and encourage them disease, pollution, so and the best.
I know you want maybe have a question. What is the fuel cell?
I will tell you about definition of fuel cell. Fuel cell is a device that generates electricity by a chemical reaction. Every fuel cell has two electrodes called anode and cathode. The reaction that produces electricity takes place at an electrode. Every fuel cell also has electrolytes which electrically charge particles from one electrode to the other and catalyze which speeds reaction at the electrode. Hydrogen is a basic fuel, but fuel cell also require an oxygen. Much of hydrogen and oxygen used by generating electricity.
You are Patapon. I remember your faces yet. Okay, you're the first one.
Electricity ultimately combine to form a water. In practice, many of fuel cells are usually assembled into a stack. Evolution of fuel cell. The concept of fuel cell had been developed in the early of 19 by Humphrey Davy, and then in 1839 William Grove invented the gas volcanic battery that is the first fuel cell, and then in 1889 Charles Langer and Ludwig Mohn developed Grove's invention and named the fuel cell and used coal gas as a fuel cell. In 1950s, General Electric invented the proton exchange membrane fuel cell. In 1959, Francis Bacon demonstrated a 5 kilowatt alkaline fuel cell. In 1960s, NASA first used fuel cell in a space mission.
To say you don't have a reference where you got all this information from. Guys, be careful about that. Okay, everybody go ahead. Well, yeah, no, but then you have to say according to, or the following has been taken from from the very beginning, so I can see. Okay? Like I've been telling you, don't put it right at the end.
Sorry, it's my
Okay, go ahead.
So sorry. In 1980s, NASA first used fuel cell in a submarine. In 1990s, large stationary fuel cells are developed for commercial and industrial location. In 2007, fuel cells begin to be sold commercially as HPU and for stationary backup power. In 2008, Honda began racing the FCX Clarity fuel cell electric vehicle, and in 2009, residential fuel cell micro CHP units become commercially available in Japan. Also, thousands of portable fuel cell battery chargers are sold. And now, fuel cell is in a process of developing. How to use the fuel cell? Fuel cell composed of anode, cathode, and electrolyte membrane. Fuel cell works by passing hydrogen through the anode and the anode of fuel cell and oxygen through the cathode. At the anode side, and hydrogen. Hydrogen molecules split into protons and electrons. Protons pass through the electrolyte membrane, and electrons are forced through a circuit, generating an electricity. Generating an electric current. And exit heat. At the cathode side, oxygen, proton, and electron combine to form the water molecule. Fuel cell electric vehicle use fuel cell to power the vehicle's electric motors. In fuel cell vehicle, fuel cell use battery and supercapacitor to efficiently start up power, utilize the base energy source for constant and peak power. In fuel cell vehicle, fuel cell use oxygen from the air and compressed hydrogen. This vehicle only emit water and heat as byproducts. Their main reason for developing automotive fuel cell technology are their efficiency, low or zero emission, and make fuel product from located source is rather than from import source.
I'm skeptical about this, I must tell you. I'm waiting for you to give me another point of view. Okay, please go ahead.
Well, let's talk about electric car. Does anyone know what is electric car?
Oh, you have to point out someone you want to give the answer.
Raise your hand again.
They are having their hands up.
I will count. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So, electric car is definitely different from fuel cell car, which that it is an automobile that propelled by one or more electric motors, and it uses energy stored rechargeable battery. For the history of electric vehicle, electric motor was strive to protect. The electric motor was created by the one who strive to protect the environment. And at first, they made a small model of car and then developed it to the larger one by the Scottish innovation Robert Anderson in around 1832. Then in 1920, the electric vehicle business was declined because of the growth of gasoline business. In this year, gasoline is so cheap, and there is many gasoline stations. Like in this picture is the gasoline station in that year. However, in 1960, electric vehicle is come back to the market again because the gasoline is so expensive. So in this year, electric car is interested again. Electric car has 3 types. The first one is hybrid electric vehicle or HEV, and the second one is plug-in hybrid electric vehicle PHEV, and the last one is battery electric vehicle BEV. For the first one is hybrid electric vehicle. Hybrid is the vehicle that use both electric motors and combustion engine. Hybrid car will increase the efficiency of the vehicle, reduce the carbon dioxide emission, and decrease the greenhouse gases emission. As I said before, a hybrid car uses both fuel and electricity. Let's talk about how electric car works. How hybrid car works. Hybrid has 3 main components. First one is internal combustion engine, which is about using gasoline or the diesel. And the second one is electric motor. The last component is battery, which is located at the back of the car. For the first one, internal combustion engine, it has 2 jobs. First one is to provide the power of motors, and the second one is to help charge the batteries. For the electric motors, it's used to transfer the power to the wheel. These motors can have one or more than one motors in a car, and can located in different places depending on the manufacturer. For the last component is the battery. Battery is used to store and send out the electricity to the function of the car. Hybrid cars don't ever need to be plugged in because they can charge by itself. This is an example of how hybrid car works. Let me say that if you drive at about 20 km per hour, the internal combustion engine at the right-hand side will turn off and switch it to use the electric motors.
Yeah, using the hybrid one.
Yeah, and
is it better, you think? Better than the electric car instead of hybrid, between the hybrid one?
Hybrid is the one of electric car but use both.
Yeah. Is this better? You say it's better than this electric car, entirely electric. Which one is better?
I think each one have both pros and cons, depending on how you feel or. For me, I like hybrid car because I used to use hybrid car, and it's very
what?
Useless gasoline.
Useless, very economical, right? Yes, but why is it better than just, if you use just entirely electric car? Then it reduces the use of fuel, combustion fuel, even more. Should be even cheaper, economical.
In entire electric car, it's like the 2 types that I mentioned.
Why it's not good?
It needs to be plugged in.
Okay.
But
So
this one is not.
This does not need to be plugged in. Okay.
And then let me continue. If the battery is low, the orange one at the back is mean low battery. The electric motors will turn off and the gasoline will activate it. And this is an example of hybrid car. Toyota Prius. This car has special function at the console of the car. It will show how battery works. Like this one, it will show that when the battery is charging, using or stop using. So let's talk about the next one.
The next one is plug-in hybrid.
You are.
We can say that plug-in hybrid car has similarity between battery electric car and hybrid car. It is powered by two power sources, which are electric motor and combustion engine. Like any typical hybrid car, plug-in hybrid car use both electric motor and combustion engine, but it has a higher battery capacity for storing electricity than a hybrid car. The higher battery capacity allows a car to drive a longer distance. A plug-in hybrid car normally drive using electricity for about 50 kilometers. Then the petrol or diesel engine will take over. So for a short trip within 50 kilometers, you can be 100% sure for using electricity in PHEV. There are 5 main components in plug-in hybrid car: the battery, control unit, transmission, electric motor and combustion engine. And this is how plug-in hybrid car technology works. The transmission transfers the motor power to the wheel. Depending on the driving condition, the smart control unit system can decide whether the electric motor is working alone or together with a combustion engine to power the vehicle. The high voltage battery either emits or store energy. When the electric motor is running, the high voltage battery emits energy. While driving, the battery gets partially charged by kinetic energy through regenerative braking. It can be plugged into many public charging stations, and the charging process can be simply performed at any place with installed domestic electricity socket, just like charging a smartphone.
Does it take a long time? Are you going to tell us? Like to fully charge the battery of, medium-sized car, how long would it take?
It will be till
now with
after
a modern technology.
There will be the classification of charging process.
Later on.
Yes, later. The last one is the battery electric car. The battery electric car uses electricity and only electricity to work. The battery electric car comes with a quieter engine and a more eco-friendly system. There are 3 main components. First, zero emission electric motor. Second, series of battery. And the last one is transmission. The function of transmission is same as plug-in hybrid car, which transfer the motor power to the wheel. Electric drive are substantially more efficient than a combustion engine. It is easier to convert the electricity to mechanical energy. The battery electric car also have charging coupling for charging the battery. Some vehicles come with the cable that allow you to plug your car into charging at many charging stations. The battery in the battery electric car need to be charged regularly most of the time. So people can only charge either at home or at work. But since this type of vehicle become more popular, the public charging station will begin to appear. Whenever you brake, the power is gained by regenerative braking process, which will help charging the battery. And this is the charger classification. Electric vehicle charger classification according to the speed they are charged. The classification are level 1, level 2, and level 3 or DC fast charging. Level 1 charging or home charging is simply plugging into a standard wall outlet. It is the slowest form of charging. If you charge 30 minutes, you can drive up to 2 miles, so it takes a long time for you to charge the battery.
Yeah, but that's my question. Is that very efficient? I mean, it's not practical. If you have to travel long distances for work,
plug-in hybrid, you level 2 charging.
90 miles, you need like 30 minutes to charge, right? 90 miles is what? From here to maybe Aburi, 90 miles. Yeah, so you need to find another charging station by then to charge. And if you increase the use of this, the problem that we face would be, there would be a very long queue at the charging station. Can you imagine? I think I can imagine that scenario. It can happen because it takes a long time, you see, 30 minutes. Now if, in the rush hour, there would be a lot of cars wanting to charge a battery, the queue could be long, and you can arrive at work late, due to this problem. Huh? Okay, so listen. To have the charging station at home, every home needs one. Okay. Yeah, you want to ask something? Why don't you let everybody else hear too? Okay, go ahead.
Level 2 charging.
What? What are you saying?
The most common and efficient charging option for your home or workplace.
You can get out of in the province or into the country.
You can have one
not go anywhere. But what if there's flooding? I'm afraid of that. Tell me what's going to happen when it's flooded. Hello, my question is, what is going to happen when it's flooded? It's raining, and then we have flooding all the time on the roads. What's going to happen? It's okay?
Broke.
I thought that you're going to tell me that they have thought about it and they have done something to prevent it. No?
Easy answer. Broke.
You see, I heard the news like, if a car is too electrical and you get into an accident and accidentally the car falls into a creek and you can't get out because everything shuts down, it's electrical, you die in there. It scares me, when I think about that. Don't you think so? No? Are you still saying we should use these cars of yours? Do you think so? Is this a good one? Someone will tell us the pros and cons of this, yes? Okay, go ahead. I'm skeptical. Aren't you guys? You're listening to this, right? To any car, but then you can roll down the window and get out. If it's not electrical, you can still manually. It's in the news. Like, you know, you get all these posted on media. Then you think you want to argue with me? Okay, go ahead, please.
Level 2 charging can deliver a full charge throughout the course of the workday of 4 nights sleep. The last one, level 3 charging or DC fast charging is the most convenient way to charge those electric vehicles with fast charging capability. This is the price of charging DC fast charging in USA.
I think you're going into much detail here, you know. Do we need to know all this detail?
I want everyone to know.
So essentially you're saying that there's the pay as you go, right? Or you become a member and you can just get a lower rate.
Yes.
Okay.
You become a member and get a lower rate.
Okay, yes. You don't need to go into too much detail.
And the best car that can charge on DC fast charging is Tesla Model 3. Tesla.
Do you know that since I just come back from China? Yes, Tesla almost went bankrupt. You know, quite a few years ago, until China decided to promote the use of electric cars. And Tesla built factories selling electric cars in China. And now it's like become a very rich company. A lot of cars sold in China. Because China promoted, you know how they do it? If you want a car in China, you sometimes have to wait like 9 months, 3 months to 9 months to buy a car in China, you know. But if you say you're gonna buy electric cars, then you can get it right away. As well as also the electric motorbike. You will see a lot of electric motorbikes in China right now in the streets, you know. And they're very quiet. So I liked it very much. You know, because our motorbikes are like very noisy, right? But the electric motorbike, like, they'll be right behind you and you don't hear. But that's dangerous, you know. I had to jump away many times because they're just right there and we don't realize it. So they say that China is now deciding to get rid of electric motorbike because they can go very fast. It's very dangerous. The people using the motorbike, right? They can go very fast but quietly, so nobody can hear them. And then a lot of people got hit by them. You see, so China said they changed their mind. At first they encouraged people to get rid of the, you know, motorbike which use fossil fuel everything. And then encourage the use of electric motorbike. But now they realize it's the wrong thing to do. They are saying no more electric motorbike, and the old ones you can't resell it. If you're going to get rid of it, then the government will take them, all the old ones that are being discarded and then destroy it. So there are actually pros and cons of this, right? Yes? And you're going to be telling us, right? Okay, good.
In this last session, we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages. But first, I'm going to ask everyone, what do you think is the advantages and disadvantages of the fuel cell and electric car?
Just just each one, fuel cells. Just fuel cells first, right? You want to do them both? Why don't we do separate ones, separately? Like talk about fuel cells first. Do you know the pros and cons? Are they always good? There are no bad sides to fuel cells? You're not going to tell us? You're going to ask them? You want to tell us? Go and tell us. Because I don't think that they know very much. You're supposed to know better than them. Why are you asking them this? No, I think that, you're actually wasting time trying to get them to. Or anyone you're searching here, you have any information for us? You guys should have been searching on this. They have been talking about fuel cells and electric cars for a long time. So you realize that at the end we're going to talk about pros and cons. Yes, yes. Now you have it. Okay, I'm going to give it to him and then you. Microphone, please.
More efficient than electric car.
It is why? How more efficient? How?
Use gas like diesel gas. And burn
They can burn oil? Can you say it again? Why is it more efficient? I mean, in what way? In what way is it more efficient? More efficient in doing what?
More combustion engine.
The combustion engine is more efficient in burning fuel. It seems I'm giving you the information, not you giving me. Okay, one point. What do you want to say? Any. It's okay. Because they're trying to tell us that this is good alternative to cars using fossil fuels. So we might want to hear another side to the story, like why is it bad? Short range of usage. I mean, you can travel to a very short distance and then you have to recharge.
Yeah, and the recharging takes
longer. Yeah, gasoline is just like less than 10 minutes and you can now go long distances. They're very expensive. But the Chinese government was trying to promote this, so the electric cars got very cheap for them to buy for the Chinese. So now they're using a lot of electric cars on the roads. You can see them driving using electric cars everywhere because it's a lot cheaper. The government support part of the expenses when you buy those cars. Yes, I think you talked already. Did you? Okay. You and then you, okay, and then you. Microphone, this one first. Okay, yes, and then you. Okay.
Isn't like much available, like electric pump is not.
The charger.
Yeah.
Charging station.
Charging station.
So what are they? What's on them?
Because like in case like if you drive for a long time.
Yes.
And then suddenly like there's no fuel.
So you're saying that there are not enough of these stations. Oh, okay. So suppose that we want to go up the mountain somewhere, in Chiang Rai or in the underdeveloped areas of Thailand, say, and there are no charging stations anywhere there. It's going to be dangerous. We're going to get stuck there with no transportation. Okay. Yes.
About advantage.
Advantage, yes.
Hydrogen fuel cell. Yeah, the first one is very expensive.
It's expensive.
Yes, it's expensive than car.
Yeah, but don't you think that they're going to be able to develop some more advanced technology that will reduce the expense of producing this. Eventually, it's going to be cheap.
It may be in the future, but now.
But
and moreover, this.
But you know that the cost of buying these cars can be compensated by the fact that you don't contribute to climate change and pollution and global warming. That's also expensive if you think about that. You know.
Hydrogen will use the hydrogen, right? Yeah, and the hydrogen will maybe can be released from the storage.
Yes.
And not perform well in the hot weather.
Hey guys, listen to this. Very useful information.
Hydrogen may be effect to the global warming issue.
Yes, very good point, guys. 3 points. I was waiting for this. Actually, the gases that are released from these fuel cells, if they're not constructed carefully enough, like something to do with sulfur, like hydrogen H2S, and nitrogen, and hydrogen H2S, something like that. All these toxic gases that can leak out. And that's why our Thai government decided not to promote these cars in Thailand because they still do not trust that the Thai companies will be careful enough with the production of fuel cells that will not be released on these dangerous gases. Yes? Same thing, sorry, too late. Okay, right. Anyone else? Can you provide? Okay, you, I'm sorry there.
Yeah, okay.
It's your fault, the legs are too long. Okay, you want to say something? Yes, please.
In additional, we don't have like, so if you use like fuel, you have like gas can, but if you use electric, you don't have like big power bank to keep it around your car, like a gasoline can. You can carry the additional power with you. Like if you use fuel, you have a can that can fill you if you don't have enough power in your car. But if it's electricity, you don't have one.
So that's a pros, right? Good. Yes. This guy. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Will affect Thailand economics because Thailand economics depends on the part of the car.
Yeah.
The car is one of the most shipping the most export. So if we use the electric car, Thailand economic will take a huge.
Yes, take a huge hit. Well, good one, 3 points. And if you give him 3 points, that guy 3 points, this one 3 points. You see, he's got a very persuasive arguments on the bad side also. On bad side, right? Oh yes, bad side of using electric car, especially in Thailand, because we have a lot of industries producing parts for cars, for automobiles using fossil fuel like that, right? Classical one. And if we start to use electric cars, then we will lose the business. We can't make money out of this production of automotive parts that we export and we get money from it. Well, you ask a question, that's why I warn you, if you ask a question, you might be prepared that they're going to answer you, and then you can't stop them, because if I stop them, they're going to be upset with me. They say, one is not fair. She only give the chance to the guy
to fix when your car is broken.
It's broken. Maintenance.
Yeah.
When it needs to be fixed, something wrong with the engine. It's hard to find.
Yes. And it's
garage.
so expensive, more than normal car.
Normal car.
I once heard about someone that he said that electric car was expensive because in Thai we use electric car as a taxi, and the price was very expensive compared with normal taxi. The first 2 kilometers start from 150 baht, and the other kilometer.
So don't you think that we should make a sacrifice? Just 50 baht more expensive. We sacrifice for the sake of the environment.
It means
this is what we
just not get into a poor people who.
But the rich, right? The rich should now get into electric cars, use electric taxi. Because we should not say, just 50 baht more expensive. What is 50 baht? 100 to get better, yes? Last person, he wants to continue with his presentation. So, last one.
You say that people who take the taxi should sacrifice this money, but I think that actually the rich people, they don't take taxi. They have their personal car. So
they have their personal car. So this will affect only the poor.
Yes, actually.
Oh, so sad. Well, let him do his thing.
Okay.
You have 15 minutes only, and we gotta go.
Everyone, don't worry. We have.
Okay, go ahead now quickly.
Have another question.
Sorry, you should not start asking the question. Start to answer.
Okay,
go ahead.
let's talk about the advantages of the future. Number one is high efficiency. When utilized for generation, a fuel cell can attain over 80% energy efficiency. Number two is good fuel reliability. Number three is environment beneficial. It's greatly reduce carbon dioxide and pollution. And number four is size reduction.
Okay. Yeah, explain. What do you mean by size reduction? What do you mean? What do you mean by size reduction?
Fuel cell is significantly lighter.
What size? What is the thing that you're talking about? The size of what? Size of what is reduced? Don't you know?
In size, quality, inequality.
The what?
Inequality.
The what?
Quality.
Size of the quality? I'm asking the size of what is reduced. What is reduced here? What is the size? What is the size? What are you reducing the size of actually? You don't know what you're presenting here? Why do you have to ask them? This is your responsibility.
We reduce the size of engine.
You shouldn't have to ask them for that answer. Okay, go ahead.
disadvantages is expensive because of the manufacture. It's because there is a capital component and number two, lack on infrastructure.
What does that mean? Explain yourself. What do you mean by lack of infrastructure? What do you mean by infrastructure? Okay. If you get them to help you will not get the point, they will get the points, okay? You want them to help? Or you're going to answer yourself? You don't know. What do you don't know what you mean? Why did you put it there? If you put it there yourself, you must know that you have to understand what you write down there and be able to explain in case someone asks you to explain. Guys, listen to this. If you make up the PowerPoints, whatever you put there, think, oh, someone's going to ask me to explain this or not. Or if they ask me, how would I answer them? Prepare to explain whatever you write on the PowerPoint. So, what do you mean by lack of infrastructure? And do you know, guys, do you know what he means by lack of infrastructure? Who knows? What are the basic structure? What are they? You know what they mean? Anyone wants to explain for them? What exactly constitutes infrastructure here? Can you give a list of things that are included in the infrastructure needed for us to drive electric cars? Yes? Charging station. Yes? Why don't you know that? Well, at least charging station. You need to have that at sufficient enough number. You have to have many of them, right? Enough of them around in the right places. So that there are fuel cells. Huh? So why do you? Oh, okay. So we're not talking about electric cars. So we're not talking about the infrastructure like the charging. What is it?
Station that
they have maybe a service that take care when they have problem with the car and engine.
Okay, one point. Anyone who still can't explain this, or anyone who would like to?
I think what you mean is lack of technology. It's not like a very improvement same as electric car.
Infrastructure is like something like facilities that we need to have ready to support the use of fuel cells.
Because fuel cell have to add, electric car have to.
But
fuel cell have to add some hydrogen too. So it's like infrastructure is like a station to add some hydrogen into fuel cell.
All the components that are needed to put into that for it to work.
Yes.
And that's not convenient yet.
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead, go on. Oh, yes.
This slide, there's the one spelling wrong.
Misspelling, technology.
Yes.
There shouldn't be an A here.
Yes.
Okay, it's accusable. Okay, go ahead, yes. Technology is in the prototype stage.
All fuel cell technology is in prototype stage and not yet validated. Okay. Let's talk about the.
Actually, you should remember his disadvantage, the cons. That's very important, the one he gave. You did not mention that one. That is very important one. The toxic gases that can leak out in the process, you know, of the operation of fuel cells. Go ahead.
Okay. The first advantage is no gas required. Electric cars are charged by the electricity, meaning you don't need to buy a gas anymore. Number two is safe saving. It means the car can be filled with very cheap prices.
But the car itself is expensive.
Yeah.
However, the fuel or the what do you call it? When you have to recharge it, it's very cheap.
Yes.
Okay.
Number three is no emission.
Are you sure? This one, he's saying this is not true. Oh, it's not 100% no emission. You know, there is a danger of leakages. But I think with advanced technology, you can make sure that this doesn't happen very much. You reduce the leakage to prevent that. However, of course, you need to have very tight security to make sure that everything works perfectly, and you know. But if you have careless people operating these things, then you can't trust that there will be no emissions. Okay? Okay, go ahead.
Number four is popularity.
Popularity.
Popularity as a.
It's popular now?
Yes, but not in Thailand.
Why not in Thailand? Safe to drive. You don't go very quickly. Go very quickly. You have only 4 minutes left. Are you going to ask questions or not? You're going very slowly. Go ahead. No.
Number five is safe to die. Safe to die. And the mistake is cost effective. Low maintenance, reduce noise pollution. And disadvantages. Disadvantages. The first is this recharge point.
What recharge point? Okay, explain yourself.
Few recharge point, not a lot recharge point. That means if you have a long trip and you run out of power, you will be stuck where you are.
I think the time is up. You have to hurry up and wrap it up, please. You have to say this. These are the disadvantages. And you go through it very quickly. Don't hesitate. Because
Electricity
you don't
is
have
free.
time.
Short driving range and speed, but long recharge time as a disadvantage. Because when you stand it, you will not know that the car is from behind, and it's because the accident.
Okay. Go through it quickly. Normally two seated, only two seats.
Most of green car almost have only 2 sisters. Battery replacement is mean every 3 to 10 years you have to change the
battery.
Yeah.
What do you do with the batteries? See, that's the waste that you can't deal with either. Very difficult to get rid of. Creates.
And the last.
So question.
So I want 2 people to answer this question and this question. One each. Does fuel cell and electric car help saving the world? Who know which way?
It's easy. Obvious or not? One yes and one no. Who says yes? Who said yes? You wanna say yes? Who's gonna say no? Okay. Yes first.
For me, this is the one way to helping because first of all, the fuel cell and electric car can use the electric as energy. So I think that it can reduce using fuel. So that can reduce the emission.
Yes, and actually it will run out soon, right? Natural gas and fuel, fossil fuel, they are running out already. Yes?
Yeah, and when the electric compound, they compound the fossil fuel. Yes, that's not
Electricity.
Moreover, we have to replace the battery.
Yes.
That's the new waste.
New waste. Yes. So in fact, it is creating more problems. He's saying it's creating more problems. What do you think? Because the batteries, you have to throw it away and replace it every 10 years.
Yes, sure, but nowadays we use many fuel like gasoline. So it's run out.
Yes.
But electric car
It's gonna run out anyway.
Maybe for a while.
Yeah. And I think there is a fuel cell that sort of do not need fossil fuel or gas to generate.
Yes.
Use some kind of recycling that is self-generating. Self-generating. Yes. I think the scientists will somehow, try to solve all these problems. And because we're it's going to run out. We're running out of fossil fuel gas, natural gas anyway. And a lot of countries like China again, I have just come back. China has a lot of coal, and fossil fuel and things like that. They are not selling. They are buying them from somewhere else. But they know that eventually these resources will run out and they would be the country that still has them. And that's when they will sell these things expensively to the world. So right now, they're keeping their resources, not being sold. Anyhow, they can do it because they are a communist country. Okay. Thank you. You want to?
I will end up my presentation. So thank you for your attention.
ไม่ยอมบอกมันเลิกกี่โมงไง
ก็4 โมงค่ะตามเวลาแต่ออกหน่อยเกินเนี่ย
พรุ่งนี้อีกห้องล่าง